Welcome to part 3. I am still very sick, but I do have the transom marked out, and now the problem is that it's 25 inches tall. So a long shaft motor requires a 20-inch transom, and a short shaft requires a 15-inch transom. So I have to figure out whether I'm going to try to run a long shaft or a short shaft. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my 5 inches down, and then I will center up this scale, because this is how long the opening is going to be, 12 inches. And yeah, go from there. This is not exactly optimal, but I think I can make it work. Keep my mark, at an angle or whatever, and then just flip it over and do it again. And this is what we're left with. I believe 12 inches will be plenty enough to mount a motor on. Probably a 15 horse, somewhere in there. Gonna have to cut this off at an angle to make that the same height, and then all the access here is gonna come down and match this lip, so it'll be about a 1/4 inch all the way up. So I believe the last time I was on the camera was after we got the transom tacked up. Now, after further investigation, I have noticed a fatal design flaw, and it came down to a point where I almost had to strip all of these out. And I think you guys probably know what I'm gonna say here, but the problem is drainage. So if water gets in the boat, how the hell is it gonna drain out? Well, I didn't know. For about 30 minutes I thought about something. I really did not want to cut those up and have to redesign them at different angles or whatever. So now for the next time I decide to build a boat, which is pretty possible, these stringers will be going lengthways instead of widthways, just to get rid of this issue completely. Now, since these runners were flat, they're not, well, I mean, they are. There was no way for water to get underneath them and drain all the way to the back, which I have ordered a pipe and a drain plug to fit in the back here. So what I did to offset this issue, it's not perfect, and it's definitely an amateur way of doing it, but I am an amateur and I'm learning as I go, and I don't want to tear up all the work that I have done. So I've cut out some 1/8 inch sheets. They're 2 inches long and 1 3/4 inches wide or whatever. And I have picked up the rail and push down on the sheet or the floor and shove those underneath each one. And what I think is going to happen with that is it's going to give the water enough room to be able to drain out, especially when the boat is on the trailer, you know, tilted back and whatnot. So I believe this will fix the issue. Now, how good is it going to be at draining? That is a question for Albert Einstein. I have no idea, to be honest, but hopefully it will. I mean, there's definitely enough passage for water to get through. It's just not optimal. So I guess in the next day, I ordered a spool gun for my machine so that I'm not breaking my neck and back and knees welding this shit TIG'd. So tomorrow we'll be getting these all tacked in, you know, a lot, getting the sides put in, and then Thursday will be the drain plug, so tomorrow is going to be getting as much of that as I can, and probably that front piece that goes across there. Probably try to get that cut out as well. So I just wanted to update until, let's see, the 30th. September 30th will be the next time I see you. So it's the next day. Got my spool gun in just now, got it figured out how the hell to work it. So just to inform on the current settings that I'm going to begin at. There's that. And I broke that tack earlier. I stepped on it, damn it. But guess what? We got a spool gun now, boys. So go ahead and fix that real quick. All right, the last cross is in. So now to finish up episode 3, I'm going to work on getting I went ahead and laid something flat and level across here, measured out 3 feet for my deck. So now I need to measure this up here. That way I can get a deck rail ran to keep the deck nice and flat there. So I'm gonna work on doing that, and then I'll be back as soon as I get that cut. All right, transom is tacked in. The bottom is more securely tacked in. The 4th and the 5th runners are tacked in. This is tacked in for the front deck. So this runs level to the top of this, since it's at an angle there. And the wood will sit on top of this flush, you know, flat. And then it'll come over here and sit on the edge of this and then touch the aluminum here. So it'll sit flat there. There'll be a mounting spot here, here, here. Probably 3 or so on that one. And then underneath there is going to be another upright. But in the centers, there's going to be 3 runners going this long ways now. Strengthen the front. I'm just going to kind of pie cut them and make them bend up. But as for right now, part 3 is finished. So if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 4. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful evening, everybody. Good night.